Hello again, welcome back to Terraria, but gravity is constantly reversed. If you haven't seen the previous part to this, then you probably should, so this makes at least a little bit more sense, but anyways, let's get started. Before we left off in the previous part, I had defeated the Wall of Flesh, and on the exact same day, a goblin army decided to pay me a visit right out of hard mode. And of course, this went horribly wrong. After I finally defeated the goblin army, the same night a blood moon decided to give me a very warm welcome to hard mode. I'm not even 1 hour into hard mode and I can already tell this is going to suck. I make a trek to the Crimson so I can break some demon altars for the sweet hard mode ores. I get cobalt, mithril, and finally titanium. And now it's time for the typical hard mode ore progression. After getting cobalt and mithril, I took a small break to build a platform in the sky layer for wyverns. For some reason, they weren't spawning when I actually needed them to spawn. I tried to fight Queen Slime, but with the gear I currently have, I was unsurprisingly absolutely destroyed. Queen Slime actually didn't despawn the first time I died because she got stuck trying to run away. So I got another attempt at fighting her, but that attempt was quickly thrown right out of the window. After that failed attempt of a boss fight, I decide that titanium armor is probably a good idea, so I start mining enough titanium until I'm finally able to make full titanium armor. While I was mining, I got the orange Zappinator from the traveling merchant. In case you don't know, the orange Zappinator is exactly like the normal Zappinator where it has a small chance to deal crazy damage, but instead of dealing around 300 to 500 damage, if you're lucky, it can deal up to 1,000 damage, which is crazy. With my new set of titanium armor as well as the orange Zappinator, I re-summoned Queen Slime. However, for some reason, Queen Slime just decides, you know what, I don't feel like dealing with this right now, and then just despawns. I try again, and then I die, again. I try again, and then I die, again. I then take a slight break from total loss of sanity and farm some wyverns for souls of flight that I can use to get some wings. After that, I start farming souls for the long and grueling process of fighting the mechanical bosses, but not before adding some pylons, of course. I didn't know it at the time, but the mechanical bosses were going to be some of the toughest bosses I'd fight in this playthrough by far. The first mechanical boss on the list I decided to fight was Skeletron Prime, and after making the summon, I went up to my sky platform and started the fight. The fight was going really well, albeit I was doing barely any damage, but it was still going pretty well. That is, until I accidentally fell off of my platform, and to prevent me from having to flip gravity back mid-fight, I recalled, which unfortunately despawned the boss. I farmed for more Souls of Light and Night yet again until I have enough to rematch against Skeletron Prime. However, a wyvern spawned during the fight, which led to me accidentally getting caught in the middle of the head, which instantly killed me. I then got summons for each of the mech bosses, but took a small break to build an ocean pylon for easier access to the ocean. Makes sense. Alright, now it's time for a change of pace. Let's try the twins. Alright, I guess I'm not ready for the twins. Maybe third time's the charm for Skeletron Prime? After yet another defeat, I decided that using the Daedalus Stormbow might be a better weapon than what I'm currently using, as the bosses below me, technically above, I know this is an upside down world, the Stormbow will be able to hit them while I'm unable to get hits in. After a few hollowed mimics, and somehow like the 5th slime raid in this playthrough so far, I wasn't able to get it, so I just decided to try to fight the twins again. I actually managed to take down Spasmatism this time, leaving only Retinizer for me to deal with. However, unfortunately, right before Retinizer made it to its second phase, a wyvern decided that this was the perfect time to invite itself into a conversation, and literally nobody wanted them there. This, paired with the fact that I struggle a lot with Ret User's second phase, led to me dying when there was only 4,000 HP remaining. You can't really tell from looking at a game screen, but this moment has given me so much physical and mental anguish that I would rather play 1 HP hardcore on legendary mode than have to deal with these bosses. I regained a brief amount of sanity after fighting a hollowed mimic, and it actually dropping a Daedalus Stormbow for once. This should hopefully make the next fights a lot easier. The first mechanical boss I test the Stormbow on is Skeletron Prime. When he's hovering above me, I use the Stormbow. When he does the funny freaky head spinning attack, I quickly switch to the Titanium Repeater. It worked a lot better and I made it a lot farther, however, because of yet another Wyvern, and because this is Master Mode and everything does tons of damage, I ended up dead yet again. Alright, you know the drill by now. Farm enemies in the Hollow and Crimson for Souls of Night and Light, craft the summons, and start the fights, and of course die because you're about as prepared as a new player trying to fight the Eye of Cthulhu for the first time. That's okay, I'll just fight Skeletron Prime again because I did pretty well last time. Somehow there's another slime rain in it, even though I don't need or want it at all. Now with some buffs prepared, I take on Skeletron Prime, I take on the twins, I take on Queen Slime, and I'm finally able to defeat her. After defeating Queen Slime, I buff up again and take on Skeletron Prime. After Skeletron Prime's defeated, I build a dirt platform and buy some hollowed seeds from the Dryad, so I can start farming for some holy arrows easier. I also buy a Contaminator and start Contaminator, start purifying some of the jungle that was corrupted when I entered hard mode. Looks like I'm definitely not ready for the Destroyer yet, so I mainly start farming for items I can use to summon the twins, as well as for holy arrows since those will be very useful against the mechs. I also build a teleporter directly to hell so I can quickly get the souls needed to fight bosses. I really should have thought about farming more souls before I defeated Skeletron Prime, because now that one mech boss has been defeated, 2 new enemies will start spawning in the underworld, Lava Bats and Red Devils. Now, Lava Bats, they aren't that bad, but Red Devils are... yeah, pain. Doesn't matter too much though, as after a little bit more farming I get the summon for the twins and start the fight. And of course I die because for some reason the mechs are becoming more of a problem than any other boss so far in this playthrough combined. Woo, a solar eclipse. I'm so glad this happened. I really appreciate a solar eclipse spawning now so I can get so much done today. Yeah, definitely. You know, I feel like Duke Fishron will be so much easier than the mechs at this point. Wait a minute. Okay, never mind. Please, 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 please. No! I hate this game so much. Okay, yeah, we're fine. We got this. We got this. Okay, never mind. Never mind. We're screwed. We are absolutely screwed. I switched the platform to asphalt to see if that would help against the twins, as it seemed to really help when I fought Skeletron Prime again. Okay, this fight is going really, really well. Almost too well. No, 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 no. Please no, not 200 HP. No! There is nothing I can do to beat the twins. All hope is lost. I resummoned the twins again, but then for some reason, my game decided to crash. Even my PC doesn't want me to beat the twins. Alright, let's try this one last time. After a few failed attempts on the destroyer, I then, with the help of the nurse, finally managed to beat the destroyer, which means finally I can progress through the game. After that, I then proceeded to mine tons of chlorophyte, and after finding a Plantera bulb, I made an arena and then fought Plantera. Of course, similarly to other fights in this playthrough, I didn't prepare enough, and the arena was way too small for phase 2, which led to me dying. I quickly went back to more than triple the size of my arena, and somehow also found a bulb that was pretty close to the other one. When Plantera was defeated, I wasted no time and charged straight into the dungeon in order to get myself that sweet, sweet Master Ninja gear. But of course I died. Instead of painstakingly making my way to the dungeon over and over until I managed to get the Master Ninja gear, I decided to try, keyword try, and fight Golem. Turns out something I was not aware of was that fighting Golem upside down makes this fight drastically easier, and I was able to beat Golem with no problem at all. Next boss I wanted to tackle was Duke Fishron, since I should be able to defeat him now that I actually have decent enough gear for this fight. First attempt, made it to the second phase, and died. Second attempt, made it to the third phase, and died. I decided to build a sky roof over my Fishron arena, that way gravity wouldn't flip if I fell down that far. Where did it come from? Alright, back to fighting Duke Fishron. After defeating Duke Fishron, I wanted to try to get the wings, but around 2 more successful tries later, I decided that I want to skip to Empress. Okay, never mind, I'll continue to fight Duke Fishron. After a few Fishron attempts later, and I finally landed myself some very nice Fishron wings. Instead of trying to fight the Empress of Light right away, I decided to go for the Cultist. My first attempt was going really well until I lost about 80% of my health from this tiny purple projectile, and then I died shortly after. Fighting Empress instead didn't really work out either, as I didn't last that long at all. Next attempt at Cultist, I bring him all the way to the asphalt bridge, hoping that the fight would be at least somewhat easier because of it. Although insanely close, I managed to pull through, which means now the celestial pillars have arrived. I target the Vortex Pillar first as I'd like access to the Phantasm and Vortex Beater. Now, I don't know if it's just me, but recently as of the 1.4.4 update, I've struggled a lot more with the Vortex Pillar compared to other pillars, almost as much as the Solar Pillar or Nebula Pillar. However, even though I struggled with this pillar, I eventually managed to finally take it down. I make the Vortex Beater and then I mine a bunch of Chlorophyte so I can turn my normal bullets into Chlorophyte bullets. Next up on the list is Stardust, and I mean, this pillar has always been a breeze, you know, just drag out some unsuspecting star cells and murder them over and over until the shield goes down, at which point I absolutely destroy it. I then decide to go after the Solar Pillar since I was struggling with the Nebula Pillar, but I did not realize how much harder just being upside down made this pillar. For starters, grappling to the ceiling, or well, ground in this case, leads to many enemies swarming me right away, with me not being able to escape in time. If I stayed towards the ground, which is technically the ceiling, that would anger the crawltipedes, and I would almost instantly get swarmed and die. Because of this, I decided that I'm actually going to fight the Nebula Pillar instead, as even though it may be difficult, it is not nearly as difficult as the absolute dumpster fire known as the Solar Pillar in this run. After dying to the Nebula Pillar a bit, I managed to defeat it, leaving the final pillar left for me to defeat, the Solar Pillar. Even though I died many more times on the Solar Pillar than any of the other pillars, I managed to finally take the Solar Pillar down to 0 HP, leading to impending doom. This is it! All of this playthrough has led up to this moment right here. Every choice ever made, every hardship ever endured, Well, looks like I'm gonna need a bit more gear if I want to take on Moonlord. I started by fighting Empress again, and as I really want to get Soaring Insignia. However, I unfortunately die when there's 2,000 health remaining, which honestly makes me very sad. I get the Master Ninja gear next, wait till night, and then rematch against the Empress yet again. I managed to get Empress Wings as well as the Soaring Insignia. However, I did want to try to get the Eventide Bow, so time to commence more boss farming. Let's go! Hey, why did the projectiles turn yellow? Okay, you know what? I think I'm fine using the Vortex Beater on Moonlord. Let's try this again. Time for pillars again. Let's go. Alright, time to restock on some Chlorophyte bullets real quick. Surely the nurse will help with this, right? No, nurse, please. Wait, no, I flipped my gravity back. No! Okay, everything about this fight's going good so far. I've gotten all 3 eyes and Moonmoon's cores opened up, and I really hope I don't have to turn around suddenly. Ah, crap, I've reached the ocean and I need to heal. Nurse, what are you doing? Just standing there? The fate of the world depends on this fight! Not the pillars again. Ugh. After many failed attempts at Moonlord, I was starting to lose hope, but I decided to give this fight one final attempt today, and here's how it went. Well, looks like that settles the question. Can you beat Terraria while gravity is constantly flipped? Yes, yes you can. Also yes, the credits are flipped too. I opened up the Moonlord treasure bag and honestly it's kind of funny. For one of my items I get the gravity globe, an item that's been with me since the very beginning and is now with me at the end of this playthrough as well. Flipping my gravity finally back to normal, I went to explore the world one final time. Honestly, it looks so much different looking at it with normal gravity compared to being flipped all the time. Well, this challenge was surprisingly really fun, and although I definitely felt like rage quitting at times, overall, I really enjoyed it. If you want to see this challenge done in a modded playthrough like Calamity, then tell me in the comments, because if enough people want to see it, then I'll definitely try it out. Anyways, hope you've enjoyed watching this challenge as much as I've enjoyed playing it, and well, yeah, see you in the next one. Eh.